Всем привет, и сегодня мы продолжим снова проходить основную сюжетку в Сумере. Сумеру. Сумеру. Так, я думал, типа, было снова проходить придется эту всякую фигню. Потому что я случайно, типа, хотел выполнить ежедневку, вот нажал, телепорт, тут вот, типа, это, не подумал, я думал, все сбросится и так далее. Телепортнулся сюда, и меня напихнул сюда. Так что, по идее, ничего не сбросилось, так что продолжаем с этого места. Куда нам снова-то? Ай, пешком пойду, пофиг. Пешком. С непрогруженными текстурами, блин. Ну и с лагами тоже. Блин. Мне вот интересно, вот с каждым регионом у меня вообще будет такая хрень. Потому что чем же больше нагруженности вот на эту всякую хрень, тем больше же нагрузка на ПК. И это уже проблема не в самой загрузке будет, а как раз таки в моем компьютере. Здесь такого не будет. Так, давай.
There you are. Really took me a while to find you.
As expected, Dia.
Get hurt? Why would?
Well, you're still getting.
Huh. Truth be told, I also think it's pretty strange. It just suddenly felt so.
Traveler, could you explain the situation to her today? Paimon's gotten a little sick of doing it. Oh, that works.
What happened to you guys while I was gone? Did you get brainwashed by some cult?
Don't think too hard about it. Just take what we're saying at face.
All right then, let me get this straight. You're telling me that my body's already gotten used to this great sword, but
Yes, your memory's being erased.
and I'd have to disagree. That's impossible.
Oh? Why do you think?
If we've actually been reliving the Sабзеруз festival day after day, then what happened to the things we used? Common sense says my wallet should have emptied itself a long time ago. There's no way I wouldn't have.
Right. They could use the Akasha to record what everyone did that day, and then use the city. It's not very likely, but it's also not impossible.
No, it is impossible.
You have proof?
You two are surprisingly serious about this nonsensical discussion. Come with me, Miss Dunyarzad. Please come.
Давай. Да блин. Так, босс. Туда-сюда, туда-сюда, туда-сюда. Я, сука, смотрите, как получилось.
This is it.
Huh? This is a wooden tray.
See those marks on the dummy? Those are the result of several. Let's say the sages didn't replace it every day. Shouldn't it be hacked to pieces?
That's true, but
Then the sages would have had to reproduce every mark I left during previous training sessions. I'm a professional fighter. My martial school has always emphasized the importance of the force. Angle and entry point of each strike is calculated and deliberate. That's why it's just as they say. Each swordsman has their own unique style, and even the same swordsman can't make the same cut twice.
is it really impossible? What if they use some fancy machine?
People often say that a camera's photo can never replace an artist's painting because the former, the same thing applies here. At a mere glance, I can differentiate carved marks from the results of combat training. Whew, I hope that cleared things up for you. Hey, is this that new brain exercise game that's been super popular with the Scott? Anyway, it's getting late. I should escort Miss Dunyarzad to Nilu's stage. See you later.
Well, back to square one. Is our memory deleted? But at least we've reached some other conclusions in the meantime. Yep, that's true. So, can we think of any new ideas right now? Strange? Paimon feels like everything's been strange lately. Huh? Leaving the city? You're right! It's really strange how Paimon can't believe it! Did we miss this because we're tunnel visioning too hard on our other theories? Or because... How about we go back and ask Nahida? Maybe we've forgotten something about leaving the city.
В смысле какой-то тучу? А пешком нельзя выйти, блин. Просто так уж и пошел. Хотя, скорее всего, из-за этого хрена выйдешь. Сейчас узнаю, в принципе. Можно ли пройти из этого или нет? Привет, Нахида.
Nahida, we're back! You're back early today. Did you find something new? Sort of. We're mostly sure now that we're not in a time loop. And we also aren't in the real world. But at the... leaving the city. As far as I remember, you've mentioned your plans to do that. We did? But we don't remember anything. What happened after... Let me think. I don't think you ever actually told me what the outcome was. But you two sometimes stay out the entire night anyway, so at the time, I didn't think too... It is true that sometimes we lose track of time during our investigations. Before we know it, it'll already be the next day. Really? That's kind of strange. In theory, I should have already awakened all your memories. Yep. Something here's definitely fishy. Let's get to the bottom of this tomorrow.
Бип, 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 бип.
Memories are back!
Уйти, вернулась, блядь. Эх.
About that... Traveler, aside from your memories that were just restored, I have another message for you. Listen to it and you'll understand.
Can't go back. There are countless spaces here. Our Sабзеруз festival in Sumeru City is just one of them.
Чего? Не понял, ну...
Traveler, you should be missing 2 days worth of memories. Paimon will fill you in. It's time to carry out our plan from yesterday. Okay, let's go.
То есть прям так. Давай, выберемся.
Why can't we leave the city? What is the academia up to now?
Don't ask me. It's not like I can tell you anything. This is a direct order from the Grand Sage.
Yes.
I have a real emergency. My goods have already arrived at Port Ormos.
That's your problem. Make sure you make a request in advance.
But it's not like you can just predict business matters in advance.
Ясно, почему.
It looks like the academia already announced a lot. Let's go and question them. Hello, sir. Why can't we leave the city today?
Here we go again. Don't ask me. I don't know either. We just received an order that no one is allowed to enter or exit Sumeru today. They didn't tell us anything else. Angering me won't get you anywhere. If I had that kind of insider info...
Ну, ты так и стоишь, как дурак, блин.
It
Ничего
looks
не
like he
объяснил.
really doesn't know.
Ну,
If we can't get anything out of him, let's take matters into our own hands. Why don't we climb up? This is a good spot, and the guard hasn't noticed us at all. Let's hurry! Huh? Why? Are you going to leave Paimon behind? But what if things get really weird? Oh, Paimon knows that Paimon can't do much, but we've always been together, haven't we? Okay. Promise Paimon that you'll come back as soon as possible. Just a quick look, and please.
Что ж произошло?
Memories! Traveler! Paimon would never see you again! You just disappeared!
Подожди. То есть...
Paimon waited for you for hours and hours at the city wall and you never came back! You promised Paimon that you were only taking a quick look!
То есть память...
Paimon, calm down. He's here now. I don't think he understood. Paimon doesn't care! Paimon wanted to go look for you, but you also said that Paimon should stay! Paimon was so worried and so scared the entire day! Okay. Paimon will forgive you.
Как-то
The most
трудно.
important thing is that you didn't actually disappear. Okay, Paimon, can you tell us your perspective of what really happened yesterday? I see. After that, you left the city. Paimon kept her eyes on you the whole time, but then you
О,
disappeared in an instant. No way! Paimon was watching you with... What's your perspective, Traveler? You sure you don't have any memory of this? I guess that explains everything. You also lost your memories the last 2 times you tried to leave the city. Those days' memories can't be awoken. So, if we leave the city, our memories will be completely erased? It really sounds like something big outside of the city is but this way, we'll also never discover what's outside! Something like a message? But how can we send it Don't look at me like that. I'm not used to being stared at. Well... Okay. You want something that can... Yep! Now we're talking!
То есть и так память стирается, понятно. А вот как часто стирается память, если не ошибаюсь, потому что она уже сколько проходит время. О, вернулась.
I'm
Ко мне
done.
кажется поздно.
Here you go. What? Isn't this just an Akasha? I made some little changes. Akasha terminals are already capable of sending messages. I just tweaked it so that to make something like this, Nahida, you really know the Akasha like the back of your hand. Yep. I'll help you save the messages. It should be pretty easy to use. I just can't guarantee the user's status and signal coverage when they're... We'll never know until we try. At least we're taking the initiative now. Let's go then. Let's expose those sages. All right. Paimon isn't as worried about being separated since it happened. Okay. See you tomorrow, Travel. That covers everything that's happened so far. Yes. Although the signal was choppy and had some interference, we still managed to receive 2 messages. Okay, now that you understand what's going on, let's hear the messages.
Что это?
Can't go back. There are countless spaces here. Our Sабзеруз festival in Sumeru City is just one of them. I've entered another space. Before me are flowing sandstone and howling fish. Impossible and surreal sights. All these spaces are empty except for the occasional ones that contain mute puppets rather than people. I can't sense any human presence.
That's one heck of an info dump. It sounds like you left the Sumeru city space when you set, but everything looked completely normal when Paimon was looking out from the inside. That's unbelievable. There's another part here. We only received it last night.
These spaces have been disappearing one after the other, absorbed by something like a sun in the sky. And now, even the final space has also disappeared. Behind me, a lot of spaces just appeared again from thin air. I get it now. Those spaces are actually...
Why did the message end right there? Probably because yesterday just happened to end at that moment. Oh, right. Paimon did hear a beep from the Akasha. Did it come from the message? It should have come from the Traveler's Akasha terminal. After the beep, Traveler said, even... Traveler, what do you think that final space could have been?
Наверное, саб этот. Как?
My impression is that each day in this samsara only ends at the sound of that beep from the Akasha.
Ой, не то.
Oh, so that's what it is! After the sound of the beep, the final space, the Sub-Zero's festival, later on, Traveler also mentioned a bunch of new spaces materializing behind them. Paimon's head is spinning. Just what are they— Well, consider this. For all the horrors of the Archon War, at its heart, it was just a game where a bunch... So no matter how strange or spooky things may look on the surface, maybe all they point to in the end is a small... Wow! The Archon War, huh? Hey! Where are you going?
Как только выбраться из этих пространств, хрен понять. Что тут написано? Окей. Пэхнуть что ли? Хотя пешком быстрее, потому что это прогрузка, это пипец, это прогрузка. Я бы уже половину пробежал, пока эта прогрузка пробежала.
Do you want some alone time to think? All right then.
The dance of Sub-Zeruz is about to begin. I'm going to go watch it.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead, Dunyarzad?
Okay then. See you later.
Have you figured it out yet, Traveler? Time is ticking away. Awesome! What is it? Paimon wants to know. Oh, wait, no. Let's meet up with Nahida first. You can tell us both together.
Я до сих пор не знаю, ну, надеюсь... Надеюсь, я пойму. А я не могу. Давай тут. Тут будет, наверное, быстрее пройти. Ну, я не знаю, короче. Как главный персонаж скажет, так, может, я и примерно и догадывался бы. Сейчас узнаем. Так. Здорово. И что же у нас тут?
You're back. I've been waiting forever for you two. Judging by the looks on your faces, are you ready to take your Sub-Zeru's exam and graduate from the festival? Okay. First off.
We've already experienced the Sub-Zeru's festival many times, and... Okay, Nahida said the Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it... All the bizarre spaces I saw outside the city had one thing in common. A lack of human presence. Those spaces remind me of dreams. Like the one I had in the Avidia Forest. Except the moon... People in Sumeru don't dream. What a...
Ну, либо это, я понял. Ну-ка. Истинность.
We are all in a dream. It isn't that the people of Sumeru don't dream. Rather, the Akasha is taking their dreams from them.
Не понял. Ну это понятно. А где мы тогда находимся?
People in Sumeru think they don't dream, but the truth is the Akasha steals and those spaces with no human presence are stolen dreams without their host. That would explain why they sounded so... So people in Sumeru do dream after all. In fact, we're all in one big dream. Correct answer. Now, how did you conclude that the Akasha
Глаз
is
Бога.
capable of this?
Глаз Бога.
The Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate. The Akasha relies on the power...
Понято.
It is the manifestation of the god of... It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace. And it grants...
Ну вот это.
That doesn't sound
Нет?
right. I need to care. That doesn't sound right.
Блять, вот это.
That doesn't
Ну,
sound
да.
right.
Это
Oh, okay. Those dream-controlling creatures in the forest also get their power from the Dendro Archon, right? That would explain why the Akasha has the... But is stealing everyone's dreams really how the Akasha compiles their wisdom? Isn't there anything... Dreams are fantastical, complex, and full of imagination. People's brains are the most active when they're dreaming. In other words, dreams are rich bundles of human wisdom. So in other words, the complete opposite of how Hypatia understood it. Karma remembers her saying that the sages think dreams are foolish delusions. And the fact that no one dreams is a blessing for... The real story is that the sages from the academia are using the Akasha to steal people's dreams for their own use. Oh? By the sounds of it, you understand the current situation pretty well. So then, what about the samsara?
The beep is a prompt tone for Akasha operations. We still hear it every night. Those spaces kept disappearing before my eyes. But as soon as that beep sounded, many more spaces materialized. Those dreamscapes kept vanishing. But as soon as that beep sounded, more new spaces appeared. The Grand Sage said, "Go celebrate the birth of that god to your heart's..." My mind feels exhausted, even though We've already experienced the Sабзеруз festival many times.
Ну-ка. Ой, ну, отменить.
Correct. The Akasha is keeping each person's brain in a constant dream state, but also separating their consciousness from their own dream. Their disembodied consciousness is placed inside the collective dream of the Sабзеруз festival along with everyone else's, while their now vacant dreams are harvested by the Akasha. No one is any the wiser as another day passes in the dream, and so begins another samsara. People wake up to yet another dream about the Sabzeruz festival. The dreams that belong to them are... So, this is like a dream factory, and the Akasha is a dream... Very good, Paimon. Using analogies well is an... Okay, so that beep we keep hearing is actually from our real-life Akasha terminals. Taking off our terminals in this stream doesn't do anything. Alright, last question. Who am I?
Ты, я так понял, Архонт. Ну, наверное.
They say that alchemical divination is the Dendro Archon's divine revelation. Now that I think about it, wasn't illusions hinting at the...
Луна полуки.
So you noticed.
Yeah.
I thought that one would be the hardest question. That wasn't hard at all. Even Paimon guessed that. Everything about you. Now that you mention it, Nahida, you've been hinting to us since. It's funny. Thinking back to when we were asking all over the place for info about Lesser Lord Kusanali. Paimon. Yes, those can wait until we're back in real life.
И как же вернуться?
On the other hand, I'd be happy to answer any more questions you
Да,
have
и
about here and
забудем.
now.
Все забудем.
You asked me this question before. My answer was, it would literally... Now that you know this is all a dream, this answer should hope... Have you heard the saying, don't wake a sleepwalker? Likewise, if someone suddenly had told you all this instead of you learning it on your own, your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions.
Понятно.
Firstly, this dream we're in is completely based on reality. People have already experienced this Sабzeruz festival. Secondly, you're probably wondering why people don't have any memories from early. That's because people don't remember their dreams most of the time anyway. And in any case, their actual dreams are... So whenever they wake up in this dream of the Sabzeruz festival, they don't remember anything from their previous identical... That reminds Paimon. Traveler had a dream when we were in the Avidia Forest. Yes. Only after receiving the blessing of Dendro can a person gain the Dendro element's dream-enhancing power. That explains... Meanwhile, everyone else has no idea that they are in the Sabzeruz Festival Samsara, while the...
Теперь помню.
Can humans really keep dreaming forever like this? Will it ever end? And you might say your mental fatigue has already answered this question. Eventually, there's only so much that, especially those whose health is compromised to begin with. People's lives are at stake here, and nobody knows a thing! I know, right? Why did they have to base this dream on my birthday? Could it really just be... Even you don't know the reason? The Academia sages are determined to harvest lots of dreams in a short time, no matter the cost. The Traveler, do you have any information?
Okay, Nahida said the Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it is the manifest... Those spaces remind me of... dreams. Like the one I had in the Avidia Forest. The Grand Sage said, go celebrate the birth of that god to your...
Celebrate the birth of that god? Could it mean... deceiving the people of Sumeru with no regard for their safety? But after we end the Sabzeruz Festival Samsara, we have to... How can the sages of the Academia do this behind their archons? In the end, I'm just the moon. A sun and a moon? We're out of time today! I'll tell you how to break free of the Samsara tomorrow. See...
Надеюсь. Давай, рассказывай. Ну, черный экран, давай, не надо.
Good morning, Nahida. Wait. Now that Paimon remembers everything, should we... Hey, What's wrong, Nahida? You don't look too good.
I'm afraid that what you're thinking right now is correct.
Пиздец.
Dunyarzad already disappear? No way.
The real Dunyarzad's consciousness has indeed disappeared. It can no longer endure the constant dream harvesting.
Да.
Paimon can't believe it. Wait, so what about that other Dunyarzad?
She's actually something like a puppet, but not completely. The real Dunyarzad's consciousness could no longer keep playing her role in this dream, so another Dunyarzad appeared to replace her in the dream. Just like the grass and the trees, that Dunyarzad is just a building block of the dream that helps to keep it going.
But personality-wise, she's nothing like...
Puppets are stiff, and can't copy a living person's vitality. After all, they're just there as filler. You know, speaking of which...
The Dunyarzad truly believed that she met you within her consciousness. And it was you who inspired her. So you do remember...
Yes. Back then, her family was overly protective of her. No one cared about her person. I just gave her a little wisdom so she could look at life in a new way. So that she could be her own person. But even so, she's still... far from it. I'm still a long way off from being a I couldn't even save her. If I were a competent Archon, I wouldn't have let my most faithful follower die at the Sабzeruz festival with so...
Please don't beat yourself up over it, Nahida.
I'm not beating myself up.
Don't be like that, Nahida. Even real Archon...
To prevent more tragedies like this, we must end the samsara as soon as...
Great, but...
Although the Sabzeruz festival dream is under the Akasha's control, only humans can dream. That means this dream belongs to a host who created it.
Huh? So... how...
Well, if this is someone's dream, then everything here must come from deep within their consciousness, which means, with the power of imagination...
Imagination?
Imagination means breaking through what you perceive as normal. Like when a server at a tavern brings a plate to you, you'd naturally assume that. However, if you're the dream's host and you become aware that you're dreaming, the dream will respond in kind. And the server really will bring you gold. But right now, our host is unaware that this is a dream. No matter how many times they're served, find some way to make that person realize that they're dreaming. Usually, once that...
How are we going to find them, though? If it could be anyone, it'd be like... And even if we did find them, how are we supposed to make them realize they're... After all, like you said, don't wake a sleepwalker.
It's extremely difficult, yes. But the only ones who can do it are you two. As for me...
Out of town? Are you going to that place full of dreams?
Yes. I want to try something. Hurry and go. Dreams are supposed to be fantastical, romantic, and...
Paimon's still a little upset that she was such a good person, with such a simple wish. But yeah, saving Dunyarzad is what kept us going this... But we mustn't lose hope, Traveler. Dunyarzad would definitely want to see us save it. Paimon's wondering, do you think the sages would get one of their own to be the host of this stream? Feels like...
Я вот догадываюсь, кто даже это.
Huh. That's true. Plus, so... Who do you think the host of the dream is? Oh, that would make sense! Ferris, then let's go ask him some...
Что-то мне кажется, это... Мизури как-то. Мне кажется, она, а не этот. Лично мне кажется, что это не Луз, потому что наш сын тогда тоже. Да и сама этот, блин, такие имена, что я хрен запомнил. Ну, проговорю точнее. Я думаю, скорее всего, не Луз, ну как-то. Никак не этот рыцарь цветов. Ну, сейчас узнаем, в принципе. Давай, выкладывай.
you're back. You left in a hurry last time. Is everything okay?
Everything's fine. Just, it's a little hard.
An experiment? That came out of no...
Could you make a wish?
You want me to make a wish? Is that a new Sабзеруз festival
Less questions, more wishing!
Okay. Oh, my wish. My wish. Okay. I'm a little nervous.
Oh.
I noticed earlier that she looked a bit down, and she wasn't she just doesn't seem like herself. She's always so... I've also wondered if the reason she asked me to be fairest Knight of Flowers is because I...
So, you have a crush?
When she placed the hat of the Knight of Flowers onto my head, she said to me, what she didn't realize was that I'm not that interested in how everyone else feels. In that moment, I just wanted to be her Knight of Flowers for the... Okay, yeah, that was a bit much. Felt like the right moment to get it off my chest, but okay. I'm ready to make my wish. I would like Miss Dunyarzad to appear in front of me right now with a smile on her face. Here goes.
Please come true.
Она, не?
I'm gonna open my eyes. Oh! You're...
What?
То есть он, да?
Fucky?
Нет, не она.
Sorry, but only one portion of Yelda candies per Nice try, you two. Anyway...
Guess he isn't the host of this dream after all. Should have
Может,
expected it wouldn't be this easy.
не Луна, забыл. Ну, я думал, что она. Почему-то мне кажется, что она.
It seems like everyone who knows Dunyarzad loves her.
My lady, step back.
That sounds like Dia! Oh, right. This is when Dunyarzad bumps and... Huh? But Dia can handle them! Hey, Traveler!
Не знаю, лично мне, как я и говорил, не Луна, никак там она. Мне кажется, она главный создатель этого сайта. Может, она тоже хотела этого. А их разве не больше стало?
Oh, it's you. Great timing. Please take... Hey, this is my job. The Homiyanis pay me, not you. You... Fine, alright. Knock yourself out. Anyway, watch yourself.
So you got yourself some backup.
Давай, дружочек.
That's close enough. Feeling lucky today?
Come on now.
Так, давай без лаков, да? Я люблю это. Еще и в городе. Вот что вы такие жирные. Че вы такие жирные? Пошел. Все. Может, вы поближе подаете, ребят?
Right
А,
here.
это как приносит, съемка, блядь, тоже вышел.
Time for a light show!
I'll take my leave.
Traveler, were you just taking your anger out on those guys? You and Nahida both. Oh, and speaking of her, remember how during the first Sабзеруз festival, before the Samsara started, she said it was because she had forgotten something. Okay, so Paimon's memory is working so far. Anyway, Paimon also remembers that she is staying somewhere around here. She pointed it out to us, yeah. Even if it's only a tiny clue, it'll probably still help us.
И как мы ее найдем?
This is the place. It's rude to enter other people's spaces without permission. Hey, the windows are unlocked. Okay. Paimon's gonna take a
Беспалевность.
This was only a temporary residence, so there was pretty much nothing inside except this book on the table. Should we open it?
Давай. Ой, блин. Или что? А.
Wow. Dunyarzad wrote all of this. Sounds like she was, even though she was also busy preparing for the Sub-Zeru's festival, she must have wanted to give this to us as a gift on the day of this. If we hadn't found this book, we never would have known. But now that we know, we can't even thank her. Hey! Where are you off to now?
И куда мы? Ну, как всегда, далеко, через самую жопу. Что за текст? С текстурами было. Мама, там белая текстура вылезла. Пипец. Мне кажется, либо она, либо Нола, либо Дыхы. А, блин. Как ее, не помню.
It's Dunyarzad's puppet.
Dunyarzad.
Traveler? You must be exhausted. Come to think of it, we've been stuck in this place for a really, really long time. Heck, even the last time we were chatting happily with Dunyarzad feels like an eternity ago. Paimon still remembers when we were sitting here, and the way her eyes sparkled when she talked about Nilu's dance of Sub-Zero.
There will always be frustrations in life, but I know that the point of living is not to leave behind any regrets.
That was what the real Dunyarzad said, wasn't it? Does that mean...
Yes, Traveler. What is it?
Oh, so she's still just a puppet. But just now, how come... What? Where are we going this time?
Я не удивлюсь, у меня будет снова лагать. Если не ошибаюсь, доставка, скорее всего, сейчас скоро будет. Сейчас будет... Ну, будет лагать, пофиг, в принципе, я чего не провык, что к этой доставке не могу. Давай, показывай. Уже лагает. Доставки нет, уже. Еще танец будет.
If you continue to resist, we will have to order an investigation into every single event, or the Grand Sage has already granted you much leave.
Oh. Traveler? You don't have to get involved.
Traveler?
Traveler? What the heck are you doing? If you get arrested by the Academia... Wait, they're not reacting. Have they been scared stiff? Oh, of course! If this is the Sage's plan, they wouldn't put themselves through... So they're just substitute...
What is this? What happened to the Grand Sage and his entourage? Like I said, they symbolize the goddess of flowers. It's just a shame that all the real Patisaras went extinct.
Yes. The Greater Lord brought forth new Patisaras in memory of the goddess of flowers. But she...
Понятненько.
That beautiful shade of purple. Aren't these flowers real Patisaras?
But didn't you just say all the real flowers went extinct after the goddess of...
Yeah. What's going on here? Huh? You guys are acting...
Ну, это было очевидно, что это надо.
Hey!
They disappeared! So Nilu's the host. What is purple Patisaras don't exist in the real world anymore. But in Nilu's subconscious, it's just like the example Nahida told us. People assume there will be food on a plate. So when you saw the flowers, you instantly knew it was Nilu. But if we want to end the samsara, we need the host to become aware. How should we make Nilu realize that?
Am I dreaming?
Huh?
So I'm right.
Wrong guess, but you aren't completely wrong either. The point is, what? As far as you know, people in Sumeru don't dream.
Yeah, but have you heard the tale of the first sage? To prevent a calamity, he went up...
Ooh, sounds familiar. Dunyarzad told us a story like that when we first...
Yep, but in the part you heard, he hadn't become the first sage yet. His piety and wisdom were acknowledged by the Dendro Archon, and she finally gave her blessing to him. All kinds of spectacular scenes appeared in front of the first sage, as if all the knowledge in the world was being painted onto a canvas right before him. He was captivated. After who knows how long, he mastered all the knowledge he could comprehend. Afterward, he said to the Dendro Archon, "I miss my parents, my wife, and my children." The Dendro Archon smiled. The next second, the sage found himself lying in his wife lying next to him said, "You're off to search for the Dendro Archon today, aren't you?" In the end, the first sage took care of many disasters in Sumeru City.
So, the first sage was dreaming ever since the beginning of the...
Yes. But his faith and determination were conveyed to the Dendro Archon.
Paimon understands where you're coming from now. That's a really interesting connection. But we really gotta wake up soon.
I see. Well, it just so happens that today's Sabzeruz festival is almost over too.
Чё, косоналагов будет?
Since we're in a dream, let's make this final dance of Sabzeruz as beautiful as we can.
С лагами, давай! С лагами. О, вы сейчас лаги пойдут, отлично, бля.
The wait is over, everyone. I dedicate this to our god, the dance of
I'd be lying if I said I had no regrets. I would have loved to see Nilou's dance.
Так. Меня удивило, что меня вообще не вызвало. Наша любимая загрузка. Ну да. Я удивлен, что у меня заставка не залагала, как обычно. Ну, давай быстрее. Я люблю эту прогрузку хрен.
Good morning, traveler.
Ага, конечно.
Oh, my mom feels like she's been asleep for the longest time. Paimon's head feels super heavy. Did we oversleep? Paimon thinks it was after the Sub-Zeru's festival. Have we finally escaped from the Sub-Zeru Samsara? Quick, take off your Akasha terminal.
Больше со мной ее не увидим. Суки, ёбаный, блядь. Покажи. И чё, я нету,
She's
блядь?
not in her room. What happened? Huh? What?
Хотелось бы говорить, что она жива, ну, скорее всего, она уже покинула этот мир. Печально. Если бы так. Нет, ее нет. О, ты жива. Ты жива.
Well done, traveler, and Paimon.
Нет, ты
And
не
thank
жива.
you, Dunyarzad, for organizing the Sub-Zeru's festival for me.
Ты жива. Фу, прилетел.
I'm sorry, who are...
Dunyarzad! You're okay!
Oh, a traveler, Paimon. I have something amazing to tell you.
Да, мы же это не видели вообще.
I just had a dream, and I saw Nilou performing the dance of...
Сука. О, все что ли? Причем у меня что же аж потекли, сука. Ёбаный просто. Ух, ёб. Так, что у нас продолжение, что ли, жоп?
Actually Nahida, aren't you? Paimon felt like Catherine was acting weird when we met at the Sub-Zeru's festival. And Dunyarzad.
It's a really long story. We shouldn't disturb her. Her consciousness is still weakened. Let's chat somewhere else. How about by the traveler's favorite bench?
Ну, хотя бы жива.
What's going on? Why are you two so excited to see me?
It's actually been much...
Oh? Strange. Was I really asleep that...
Так, а чё у нас дальше сюжетка проходится? Ну-ка. Вот давай вот без весами. Так. Финал. То есть еще скоро. Ну, давайте закончим. Надеюсь, закончим. И не снова не придется делать другую серию. Хотя, скорее всего, придется не делать серию тогда. Потому что если она будет быстрая, то мне даже хрен не сделаешь.
Let's first. It's such...
After we parted on the last day of the Sабzeruz festival, I left the city and saw what the traveler had described. Among the countless dreams, I found one that was growing fainter and fainter. This proved my suspicion. Once Dunyarzad could no longer bear the Akasha harvesting her dreams, her consciousness began to dissipate.
Типа
But
она
this also
пошла
meant it escaped. Such a small fragment of consciousness can't last for very long, though. It will return to its original dream, where both will gradually fade until they completely disappear. I used all the power I had to keep her dying dream alive as long as possible, but it still wouldn't have lasted for...
So it looks like we did manage to save Dunyarzad in the end. Not a moment too soon.
Huh? Why are you two smiling so happily? I thought you'd be so moved that you'd start crying. I need to spend more time.
Both are fine. Everyone reacts differently.
All right. You two must have a lot of other questions for me, right? After all, you saved my faithful believer. As your reward, I will answer any and all questions.
At the Avidia forest, there was this incense that made the traveler fall unconscious.
You also heard someone's voice, right? It said world.
Yeah, so you do know. We've been wanting to ask you what that was.
It seems like the traveler established a connection to Irminsul. That was a message left by Greater Lord As you two probably know, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared after the disaster in Conria.
A message from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata?
We thought it was the Scarlet King? That god who died even longer ago? Some present-day desert dwellers still worship him.
Okay, so what does the message...
I still haven't managed to decipher it. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's residual consciousness in Irminsul seems to be contaminated with something that has... Many devoted scholars go mad as soon as they connect their consciousness. But I believe this is the key to saving Irminsul. That's why I've kept trying...
So the tree in the vision was Irminsul? Oh, Tainari also said that Irminsul is... But even if you can't figure out what that vision was all about...
The traveler wasn't affected after coming in contact with that consciousness. I've never seen anyone like that. No, we must decipher its secrets. I've already eliminated all other... This puzzle has life and death at stake. It could determine Irminsul's
Давай
fate,
дальше.
as well as to
Давай
that.
напоследок.
You mean how the Akasha stops you from having dreams?
Yeah, it's been such a long time.
It's not that no one noticed. It's more like no one cared.
Misdirection?
The sages convinced everyone to believe that being unable to dream is a sign of rationality and wisdom. Even if the truth is that their dreams are being reaped by the Akasha. With their propaganda in place, the sages can max. Besides, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata must have created the Akasha in the hopes that it could be used. Anyway, the perspective by now, even those who never use Akasha terminals find it too shameful and embarrassing. There's never been any big problems with the Academia's governance of Sumeru. I wonder what caused them to go down this path. Even though the city's residents haven't noticed anything strange, I tried to do some investigating in the Akasha, but I couldn't find anything suspicious. I think they're deliberately trying to hide something.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. In Gandharvaville, there was a sage who had...
Regardless, I need to first investigate the sage's motives, make things right, and punish them if needed.
Так.
I'll have to be discreet. To be accurate, I'm using the Akasha as a medium to occupy Catherine's consciousness.
То есть ты можешь вселяться в...
How did you do that? Poor Catherine.
Theoretically, I can enter anyone's mind as long as they're wearing their Akasha terminal. The Akasha is the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. As Lesser Lord Kusanali and the first, I've always respected my people's free will, so I've never actually occupied their consciousness. When necessary, I just borrow this bionic Snezhnayan puppet.
Что? Что?
Hold on. Did we just learn some deep, dark secret? So Catherine is... No wonder Paimon felt something was off about her. What about your own body? Why do you need to borrow other people's? Don't you live in the sanctuary of Surus?
That story begins a long time ago. After Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared, at that time, I was young and weak. The sages kept me in the sanctuary of Surus. However, I do understand that they had hoped to find Greater Lord Rukkhadevata.
So, the sages basically put their new Archon under house arrest? How dare they!
In some ways, they aren't wrong. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was omniscient and I'm still really far away from being able to call myself the God of Wisdom.
Yeah, you got a lot of believers. Just look at the Sub-Zeru's festival.
Thank you for the kind words. But I honestly don't need physical freedom as long as trying to find a way to save Irminsul is my life's mission and top priority. I will work on that. Every once in a while, I will also take up the duties of the God of Wisdom and enlighten a lost soul here and there. Doing all that, got it. I hope my answers were satisfactory, seekers of knowledge. To be honest, maintaining Dunyarzad's fading dream took a lot of mental. Oh, and you don't need to worry too much about the sage's activities for now.
Yeah, go and get some sleep. Leave everything.
What a relief.
Traveler? Paimon? Why am I here?
Нет, не знаю.
Do either of you know?
Вообще не знаю.
Maybe you were sleepwalking. You know you can't wake up a sleepwalker. We happen.
I see. Huh. I should visit my maintenance personnel sometime. Oh, I'm fine. I better go. Thank you.
Так, и чё у нас тут? Набор богат. То есть все. Это уже следующее это задание мира. Угу. Что у нас тут? И открылся Игнарий. Так, ну что ж. Без лагов. Дают. Так. Основную сюжетку мы закончили. Так что... вот давай без... Куда ты вот давай так, чтобы ты лагал. Основную сюжетку мы закончили. Наконец-то. Осталось проходить... Ну, в принципе, ивенты. Только вот с чем начать даже не знаю. Это длится 24 дня, так что по логике следующее, то, что я буду записывать, это вот это. Так что увидимся на этом ивенте. Потом на этом. Хотя он, по-моему, длинный будет, так что логично, что лучше потом этот записать. Ну, задание легенд я тоже буду записывать, так что сначала с феями. Так что увидимся. До скорых встреч. Пока-пока.